Hello there. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Black Guy 73 YouTube channel. Uh Today, starting off with some sad news, but with some good news at the same time. There were a shooting in Southern California, 40 miles from Los Angeles, in Santa Clara, where a student went to the high school. It's been reported that he shot five of his fellow classmates. Well, not classmates, but five of his fellow people who go to the school. They describe him. They only describe him as an Asian guy dressed in black. He be put. He been brought. They have captured him, and right now they don't have no reason why that he did this. Like that's why I started off saying there was some bad news and some good news. Cause so far, none of the children in life-threatening situation. The article started off: a student suspect opening fire and injuring at least five people at a high school in Southern California have been apprehended. Law enforcement officials they responded to a report of an active shooter situation at a high school in Santa Clara. The school, I think it's Saugusta, Saugus, uh, something like that. In Los Angeles County Sheriff Department initially said the suspect, described as an Asian male student in dark clothing, was on the loose. But about 90 minutes after the first report, multiple outlets reported that the police had contained the scene and that the suspect was no longer a threat. Early, the live video showed officers surrounding a home in a residential neighborhood near the school. The sheriff department told Huffington Puff that the resident was an area of interest, but did not confirm an arrest at that time. They said a resident who declined to give her name said she and her neighbor had been ordered to lock their doors and stay inside. She she quote, I was shocked when I looked out and saw all the police. We don't normally see stuff like this, the woman said to the police. They said the high school is located about 40 miles, I said south, I'm sorry, 40 miles north of Los Angeles and was evacuated and then the school, Highlander Elementary and Rosedale Elementary School, was placed on lockdown as police searched for the suspect. That was earlier. It says students were seen on video leaving school with their hands up in the air, escorted by the authorities. And in the same video, several people were seen being loaded on gurneys into ambulance. This is a quote. It's one of the most worst nightmares as a sheriff. We all embrace our kids in the morning and send them off to school, but you never know what someone is plotting. End quote. Here go another quote. It's a sad reality of modern life. With these active shooters at school, he added. It said Saugusta, I might be butchering the name. High school served about 2,500 students in grade 9 through 12. Authorities have set up a reunification point for parents and students at Central Park in Santa Clara, roughly 1 mile away from the high school. Right now, they don't have any details why, what happened. I mean, crazy how they just described the person as a Asian guy. I know he's a student, so they ain't gonna release his name because they don't release. They pretty much don't release nobody's name unless they are 18 and older. In certain states, some states might release their name at 16, but it depends on how rough. Depending on how bad the crime was. But at this time, is they're not releasing his name. They're describing him as an Asian guy. I wish I don't know how many mass shootings have took place in the United States this year, but I'm about to see. At one point during the summer, they had a estimate, but once you check out how many mass shootings in the United States, you'll be surprised because a lot of this stuff don't get reported. Because in some cases, only be like 3 people get shot, but the definition of a mass shooting, 3 or more people who get shot, that's considered a mass shooting. So, but a lot of them don't get reported. Like, you know, in a gang fight, like things happen in oh, there in Chicago. Sometimes they might have like 3 or 4 people get shot one night. They might don't someone might don't die, but it's still considered a mass shooting. So they already got Santa Clara High School on Google already listed as a mass shooting in the United States in 2019. Now they have, but that it says 6 were injured instead of 5, according to Google. But the number might change, or I might hope it just don't. I hope it just they receive some doing just minor flesh wounds and not nothing life threatening. Something, how the media do. This happened at 11:40, 11:14 Eastern time. So it took place at 8:14 out west. But again, they said as of September 24th, 2019, there have been 334 mass shootings have occurred in 2019 that fit the inclusion critical of this article. They said this is an average of 1.24 mass shooting per day. In these shootings, 1,347 people were injured and 377 people died, for a total of 1,684 victims. I know a lot of people. The first thing people wanted to say, like, we need more policemen, crew, in the streets. Or you need more policemen in the school. To be honest with you, with policemen, with law enforcement, their job is to react. They can't deter. They can't stop anybody from committing a crime when they don't know when the person's gonna commit a crime. Because, like, why I stay here down here, every time it might be a crime or something, they always throw out uh s- s- they always throw out numbers. It's some words. It's in my brain, but it just like come out. But they always throw out a number that we like 70 to 100, 70 to about 100 policemen short of the force. Like they blamed it on the mayor, our previous mayor, but now we got another mayor, and they still short of the policemen in our area. A policeman, they can't stop nobody from committing a crime. So I don't know. I don't care how many times. I don't care you put 100 more people out there. When a person, until they like that movie they showed about they can read the mind or go. I forgot what the name of that movie, but they go back in. They can tell what's gonna happen in the future and stop the criminal from committing crime. But if we do have that technology now, they just not released it to the general public, to the local policemen, you know. But I don't think we have it, because if that was the case, the FBI be having a new conference pretty much every day, saying we stop this. Because when they stop like this crazy man, I think it was last month when he was planning on shooting up. He was a white supremacist, and he was planning on I think it was shooting up the a Jewish place, or he was planning on bombing it. One of it. But he was online. He thought he was talking to somebody else in the white supremacist, but it was an undercover policeman. So it will undercover FBI agent. So when they spoiled that, the FBI released a statement saying, we stopped this guy who planned on doing some damage to the Jewish synagogue. So I'm sure. I'm one of the conspiracy people. I ain't gonna lie to you. I believe the United States official around the world do have the technology to listen. Because Eric Snowden, when he busted that place he was working at, they didn't stop doing that. We just know they still do. We just know they do it, but they ain't preventing them from stop doing it. Cause why? Because you know, if they wanna, if they had to go through listen to somebody phone calls and stuff, they got to get warrants. They got to prove why they need the warrants. So if they got a agent just listen to your phone call and hear that done keyword they're looking for, they can go ahead and target them. But for now, no more news have been released uh, about the guy named the young man who committed the murder. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry. I get reports from my daughter grades come to my phone, and she got a 100% in Spanish. I be telling her, I'm sorry to go out track. I be telling her, her teachers are Puerto Ricans. And I be telling her, I say, you live in Puerto Rican Spanish. You ain't learning all the other people's Spanish. And she tell me, Daddy, shut up. But, like I told her, I have some Hispanic friends, well, associate. And they be telling me like, man, they doing Puerto Rican be messing up our language. I'm like, but yeah, she doing great in school. She just got to work on science, man. That science kicking my daughter behind. She said them formulas is a beginner, but she passing algebra 2. She passing with a like I think it was a 90 something. Spanish with 100. Graphic design with a 89. What else she take? She take ELA. She take the college course. Go to a little college, take the ELA. But all her grades be from A's to the high B's, except science. Science coming in and beat her behind, man. So I be telling her she got to study harder, but cause she in 11th grade now. But but with my daughter, I be nervous too. 'Cause I only stay 5 minutes from the school, and I'm off Monday through Thursday. Uh, I'm off Monday through Thursday, and I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I be nervous. I know the school got, like I said earlier, I know the schools got safety patrols. They got their own policemen at the school now. But my daughter go to school there. I think she said about 600 students. It might be more. The policemen can't be all over the place. That's why I said earlier that policemen can't prevent crimes. Only thing they can do is solve the crime. So I hope they get an answer from the young man. Because most of the time, it always come back to be the person was bullying them, but they shoot other people, you know. So I'm speculating right now about he was being bullied, but most of the time it be that way. Cause if we all be honest with ourselves, we as a child and we was bullies. Bullies just ain't occurred. We all were bullies. And some people, our children are bullies, and we be honest with ourselves. I would love to say my daughter don't be picking on nobody. I'd be lying if I tell you my daughter don't be picking on nobody because I don't be around her 24/7. I definitely don't be around her in school. So you never know what happened, man. But I'm glad the children so far. I'm glad the children nobody been haven't died or anything. I'm glad they caught the young man and not killed him. But it's no answer. You know. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for watching. and there's no answer to the problem. There's no answer to it. I don't give a damn how many presidents we don't had. That one problem they can't answer. They can't prevent crime. They try like heck, especially the Clintons, especially on Clintons. They try to prevent crime, but the junk, when they call them black people, call black men super savages. You know, even though they probably didn't mean it like that, but that's how it came out. So, but there's no way of prevent. There's no way of preventing crimes and stuff. If something else come out later on to what tell us what happened or why he did it, I'm definitely gonna come back in here and let y'all know. 'Cause I know some. I'm a news person. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be up on the news. I be listening to the news all the time. 'Cause I like to know what's going on around me, and I would like to know what's going on through the nations and across the ocean. I like to know what's going on. But for now, you got to do. And I know the family going through it. 'Cause I know I be going through it. Cause in California, they got a strict gun law, but in Georgia, they ain't got no strict gun law. You know, but I don't know. I know I was bullied in school. I was. I wasn't. I didn't grow up in a middle class home. I was below the poverty line, and a lot of time I ain't had the stuff that other children have, couldn't afford it. Cause I lived I lived with my mom when I was in elementary school and middle school. But I stayed with my sister, who was 5 years older than I am. Yeah, she about 5 years older than I am. I stayed with her from high school until I went to the Navy. So, you know, I survived. I, I ain't I ain't had no rough childhood because I didn't make it rough. Because I know my family. Nobody couldn't bail me out of jail, so I'd rather took the easy route and just stayed out of trouble. But I know how bullying is, and I had did bullying myself. But back at our time, it was called janking. You cracking jokes on each other. So it really ain't no bullying. It's just whoever got the best of each other at that joking thing. But yeah, I've been bullied. And I learned to retaliation with my brain instead of with my fists, cause I know I I wasn't trained in fighting. When I was in school, I'll be honest with you. When I was in school, I weighed 108. I was 6'2", 180 pounds. So I was getting up some weight. Even though I played sports, I played football and basketball. I was country strong, but I wasn't uh physical built. My body my body hadn't expanded yet. I was more up and down instead of wide arms and a wide chest. So I had to use my mind. I had to like, okay, you talking about me? I got to do some research and talk about you and what's going on in your family. How we just did, but it wasn't nobody saying we would go blow to blow unless it just something happened that you couldn't stop. You know, when that ego kick in, and somebody test your little small manhood, you think, okay, I got to hit him. He trying to hit me. But as a parent, man, my daughters are the opposite of me. My daughters, they smart. Uh, they have a good relationship with the people. They compliment. They're like, oh, they quiet. My older daughter, she been getting ready to graduate college, and in December. Uh-oh, got some more news, man. It just happened. They said one dead and several injured, according to Yahoo News, in the California school shooting. They said one person was killed and several others was injured Thursday during the shooting in Southern California high school. And the student gunman was in custody, authorities said. They said the school occurred. It happened around, but the shooting occurred around by 7:30 a.m. West Coast time, and it tweeted that one female patient was dead. Man, rest in peace to her. And two males were in critical condition, and one male was in good condition. It was unclear if there were any other injury. Initial report as high as six. It said the Los Angeles County Sheriff tweeted that the suspect was in custody and was being treated at a hospital. He said the suspect was a student but gave no further information. They said the TV image showed deputies swarming the high school and several people being moved on gurneys. So they be repeat the same thing now. But they're saying President Donald Trump was monitoring his reports. I think they're getting out of name now. Let me see. They said when I got out, I saw these people lying on the ground with blood all over them. She said. This is freshman Rosie Rodriguez was walking up the library stair when she heard noises that sound like balloon popping. When she saw other students running, she realized that there was a gunman. So they still haven't released the door. They still haven't released the person's name, but man, rest in peace to that young lady who got killed. And I hope the two other darn students don't die. They in critical condition. They ain't saying what the rooms where it happened at. They ain't saying where they got shot at, but you can get shot anywhere to the body and you can die. You know, you can get shot in the leg and they hit the artery, arms or whatever. You can bleed out. So I hope they, I hope they got them, man. I hope they survive and stuff. I don't have no people out that way, but at the same time, they're Americans, and I don't care what color they are, they children. And as a parent, we don't want nobody child to get hurt, get shot. But man, rest in peace to that young lady who killed in that uncensored incident. They said they quote, "So many teachers quickly sprang to his feet." Wait, I'm sorry. Should have put my glasses on. They said, so my teacher quickly sprung to his feet, got up, locked the door, asking the students to get the keys. He said, and so we light reinforced it. We turned off the lights and then we got a bunch of desks and stuff and reinforced the door. And we all just light stayed hidden. End quote. Man. And another thing, I was looking at the news today when they had that mass shooting out there in El Paso, Texas. Walmart about to open up their Walmart again. They said they're gonna build like a 30-foot memorial in honor of the people who lost their lives. But at one point, I thought they were talking about tearing that Walmart down and just building another one. But I guess it's easier. And then, you know what the crazy part is? I thought that jump happened last year. So it's so much news coming at you all the time, and the news that happened early in the year, it get pushed back. And that incident took place 3 months ago. It was just 3 months ago when them people lost their lives in El Paso. I don't think we had no answer for that neither. So, like I said, rest in peace to that young lady, and those who pray, keep them two other students in your prayers, and hope they pull through. And you know, I know some people don't pray. I'm not a big prayer person myself. I'm more like speaking to my ancestors and asking them to you know, guide me, give me the strength, and if they can, show me the right way. That's how I do it. Right? Not pray sometimes too. but most likely I talk to my ancestors because I know them. I knew them, and who better yet who better yet who can protect you spiritually than your ancestors, other than whomever your belief is. But mine, I go to my ancestor first, and then cause like I learned in I'm a member of the Church of Christ. And I learned in the Church of Christ that you shouldn't ask God or Jesus for nothing because they already know what you need. So that's why I talk to my ancestors instead of asking God or Jesus for anything. Because they said, according to what I've been taught, you would receive what you need. So I do the cheat code. I go to my mom, my grandmama, my great grandmama, my great granddaddy, all there. So I do the cheat code. I ask them to give me the strength because sometimes I need it. We all need it, and you shouldn't be ashamed to say that you talk to your ancestors. Cause I do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I talk to my ancestors, and you know they give me joy and pleasure of doing it. Cause I know I told one of my co-workers, he also a black guy, and he started laughing. He thought it was a big joke. So I let it slide the first three times, like his little corny joke. But the fourth time, like, dude, this ain't nothing to play with me. I said, you might don't respect your ancestors, but I respect my ancestors. So I said, we still cool, but let that junk go, man. Because I don't like getting upset. 'Cause I said before in my videos, I have PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and I don't want to lose control. And I don't want my PTSD to be the excuse, because a lot of people use PTSD as an excuse why they did something. When PTSD is not the cause of what you did, it's just something you've been diagnosed with, something that you couldn't handle what happened while you were in the military. It don't cause, because that's another thing. PTSD don't cause you to commit no crime. It don't cause you to go crazy. It's just something you wanted to do. Because if we be honest, it's just something you want to do. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor, none of that stuff. But in my case, I know that I wasn't there. I don't use PTSD as no doing a scapegoat, you know. But in some people case, they do. I see it plenty of time on the news that like, oh, first thing they said he was suffering from PTSD. Everybody, like in my case, my PTSD came from when I was ship collided with another ship when I was in the Navy. That where my PTSD came from. Mine wasn't in a battle situation or anything like that, so it don't have to be in a battle situation. It's something that traumatic happened at the time while I was out in the Navy that that affected me throughout my life. Cause being a black male, as for myself, I can't say with the other people. I wasn't taught to go to anybody when I had a situation. I wasn't taught. I ain't had nobody to talk to. Your boys, the dudes you grew up with. When I went to the Navy, the dudes I grew up with, I no longer associated with them like that. I feel I had outgrown them. I know it sounds crazy, but it feel like the things they were doing, I wasn't on that junk no more. So I ain't had nobody to go to. The females who I dated, most females don't want to hear about a man problem. At least that's what I think. That's how I was thinking. Like you go to a female and tell my, yo man, something going on in my head, some, you know, but they think like I was thinking that I sound weak, and most black females don't want no weak man. So that's explain why. I used to blame it on my ex-wife, but it might be me. But been me who I didn't want to go around crowds. You know, if I did go around crowds, it'd be in the daytime for a short minute of time. It was for a short point of time. I didn't care about hanging out with people. So why start saying that? Oh yeah, I was saying that because you know, P, I take that back. PTSD affect people different ways. Cause I'm sure if I was in shootout, like other branches of the military, not everybody in the branch of the military. Don't get it twisted. Cause them people say they in the army and the marine, don't mean everybody having combat experience. They just in the marine, doing supplies or cooking, cutting hair, driving trucks, something like that. Everybody wasn't on the in the infantry. So, but it's affecting different. Like they could be on base and somebody had got close enough to shoot some shells over there and it affected them like that. But like everybody wasn't affected. Everybody not affected the same way. Say it like that. You don't have to be in combat to get PTSD. That was a long rant for saying that. But I'm about to end it. But people, please pray for the family of the girl who lost her life out there in California. Pray for a speedy recovery for the two guys who are in critical condition. And also pray for the guy, because they didn't give out but four people. Said what was wrong with it. And pray for the guy who in good condition. All this stuff, the people who survived this, the students, they might go through PTSD too. You know. So I hope the parents or the school get on real counseling, not just no disrespect to the school counselor, but I don't think she was going to school to solve problems like that. Especially most of the time, it'll be like two people, maybe three counselors in the whole school, 700 to like that school 2,500. So I hope they get the right help. And some things word can't say, man. Sometimes you can't. Ain't no words to say. All right, thank y'all for looking at this video, and I hope y'all have a good one. I might come back later on and talk about something a little bit more uplifting. But when I seen that, I just wanted to let the people know, or I just want to express my feeling about what took place. So I want y'all to, if you get a chance, like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell a co-workers that this guy being positive most of the time on YouTube, and ask them to follow him, follow me. I'm about to talk about myself in the third person. It's not weird. So I'll talk to y'all later, and y'all be safe out there, man. And ladies. I'd say man, check out, I'm country. Well, I say man, go to everybody. But ladies and gentlemen, be safe out there. Y'all take care.